Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another Q&A type of video. We're on like the Flash and all of the other Arrowverse shows as well. So as always, if you do have any other questions for this series, please leave them in the comments section down below. It's much appreciated, obviously. But see what questions I answer in this video, so you know which questions I've already answered. And of course, be sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new, just to support the channel as a whole. Now, one quick thing to talk about before I get into the Q&A, I will actually be starting a new TV show on my channel, sort of. And that is American Horror Story Cult. I'm going to be reviewing that season. I think there's 12 episodes, so it should end around November. I think that's when the last episode will air, but it will cross over with Flash and Legends, but I've already got it organized how I'm going to handle all of those videos. But it starts not tomorrow, but the day after from when this video goes up. So Tuesday in America, but in Australia it comes out Wednesday. So yeah, just be expecting that. I'm not expecting a lot of views on this series. I'd be happy with a couple of thousand. 3,000 at the most, I'd be happy for each of the episodes. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to do it regardless. But if you could support those videos, it would be awesome just by chucking a like on them and yeah, stuff like that. But now let's get into the questions that people have provided on my previous videos. So the first question comes from Pixel Stav, and he asks, do you believe we will be seeing any other new speedsters on The Flash? I'm assuming he means this season. In regards to this season, there's a possibility that the new Harrison Wells could be some sort of speedster, but I don't think we'd be meeting any other new speedsters until maybe right towards the end. They could tease something. I think we will possibly and hopefully see something to do with the Earth 19 Flash or the Accelerated Man. You know, hopefully he might come back into it. Obviously not in a massive role, but in just some form of role, whether it's just another quick cameo or he's in one episode or something that's involved on Earth 19 or something like that. And in regards to towards the episode, they could tease like Godspeed or something, or another speedster, because as they have stated, like, the first 3 seasons had speedster villains. In season 4 they wanted to go with a non-speedster villain. I reckon in season 5 they will go back to a speedster villain, and it wouldn't be surprising they went with like Godspeed or something like that, just because he's very popular from the recent Flash comics as well, so a lot of people would like to see him. Question 2 comes from Justin Platter. I've stuffed up my writing there. I'm pretty sure I've written Justin. And he asks, do you think at the end of the crossover Barry and Iris will get married, and will he get the Flash ring as his wedding ring? In regards to that first part of the question, they have said there's going to be a wedding in the crossover. One of the themes for the crossover is romance. I've said it in another video. I think it's going to be like a minor theme, that just carries over throughout the crossover with certain characters. And I'm 99% sure they confirmed there's a wedding in the crossover. So it'd have to be Barry and Iris. It could be Maggie and Alex from Supergirl. But like in comparison to other couples or something in the Arrowverse, they're probably towards the lower end. Like, because not as many people focus on Supergirl. But most people would know about Barry and Iris from The Flash. So it does seem like that's going to be the wedding. The thing is that the last episode is Legends, but the thing is because they're doing it 2 nights with 2 episodes on each night, it won't seem as out of place as I thought it might have been if they'd kept it like a 4-night crossover, if you know what I mean. So like, it's not going to be a random skipping of a night and we're going to end up on Legends of Tomorrow and there's randomly a wedding for Flash characters. Because Flash and Legends are on the same night, you know, it's not going to seem out of place because they're sort of connected episodes. So it'd have to be the Barry and Iris wedding. If it's anything else, I'd be very surprised. In regards to the Flash ring as the wedding ring, I don't know. That'd be weird. I think it'd just feel out of place on the show. I know it could happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Question 3 comes from Super Luigi, not Super Mario, Super Luigi 57, and he asks, who is your favorite Arrow villain? Exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. Wow, dude, you left a lot of them there. But my favorite Arrow villain, it's Prometheus, but I really like Slade. I think Slade has the better story, but Prometheus is the better villain. Now, you might be wondering, well, isn't it the same thing? No, because Slade starts off as a good guy, like you are rooting for him, and then he turns into a villain. And now back on the show, he's sort of in that like middle ground, that grey area. But with Prometheus, he's a full-on villain, so you'd have to say Prometheus is the best villain. But in regards to if you're comparing the storylines, I guess, between Slade, Wilson, or Deathstroke and Prometheus, easily Slade wins because he has like a 20 times better storyline that's still going on the show. Adrian's got a bullet in his head, so his storyline is over. But in regards to the best villain, it's definitely Prometheus. Question 4 comes from Terrific Sword, and he asks, why isn't Barry using the Tachyon device other than having him be too overpowered? So that's one reason why they wouldn't use it, because it is a bit overpowered. Another reason is plot, like really he needed the Tachyon so he could be faster than Zoom, but then so Zoom would take his speed and stuff like that, so Zoom would be even more overpowered. So there's a couple of reasons, and the other one is it's not organic speed. It's what's the word? Artificial. It's artificial speed force energy. So it's actually not natural speed force energy. So it's not very good for a speedster to have that flowing through them. It's sort of like a last resort. It's not as bad as like the velocity formula, but it's, you know, not the best. It's not natural. It's artificial. So they haven't really explained on the show. It's probably a plot hole. It is a plot hole, the whole Tachyon thing. Like, why doesn't he use it more? But I don't think they'll ever come back to it on the show. I think it's just best to put that in the back of your mind. If it comes back up on the show, then hopefully they explain it in better detail. But at the moment, it's just sort of, it was used for plot reasons, and it's inconsistent. That's the best way to put it. Like, they just introduced it for plot reasons, and they just really didn't know what to do with it going forward. Question 5 comes from Anthony Adams, and he asks, do you think we will ever see Nyssa Al Ghul again? So if you remember the Arrow Season 5 finale, Nyssa's on the island, so she's there when the bombs are going off. And if you watch the Season 6 trailer for Arrow, when there's a new scene where like Felicity walks up to Slade and says, oh, Oliver said there's a boat, blah, 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 and then he walks away. That's a new scene. That's going to be in the Season 6 premiere. That wasn't in the Season 5 finale. In the background, everyone else is there. The only person who walks away is Nyssa, and that's because the actress wouldn't have been able to make it to film those scenes. So that's a stunt double in the background. If you go watch it, you go watch the Season 6 trailer again from Comic-Con. You see Nyssa in the background. It's Nyssa's clothes, but it's obviously a stunt double, and she just walks off screen. So I think they're going to make it that either Nyssa like dogs the team, and they're like, where's Nyssa? And she's run away, or she dies. So I don't know what they're going to do with the character. Just because Katrina Law, who plays Nyssa, was filming another show at the time and couldn't have made that filming. So, going to be interesting to see what they do with that, whether they kill her off or they just like don't really mention it. Maybe she gets off the island. But in regards to meeting her again, I guess it really depends if she survives the island or not. Because I think Samantha Clayton is definitely going to die, but that's really the only person we can say is 100% going to die. Everyone else is sort of up in the air, apart from the ones that we've seen filming scenes for Season 6 currently. Question 6 comes from Shiner J.R. Sewell. I don't know if it's Junior, like Shiner Junior Sewell or J.R. Sewell, whatever it is, let me know. And he goes, can Cisco use his powers without his vibe goggles and gauntlets? Now, I've seen this chucked up a lot. He can, because there's a scene it's towards the end of Season 3, and Killer Frost comes at him and he just goes like that, and he's not wearing, it's him being Cisco. It's just Cisco. So he can use them. I think the gauntlets and the goggles are just really so he can be stabilized when he's doing it. Like if he's doing a long breaching or a long vibe and stuff, it's so he can stabilize. And with the goggles, correct me if I'm wrong, it's so he can focus more. Like really the goggles are for focusing. Like you can have visions and stuff like that, but if he's like trying to focus a vision and stuff like that, it's good for him to have the goggles on. Like he doesn't need the equipment. The equipment just helps him stabilize and keep focus and do things for much longer. And I think the gauntlets and the goggles look pretty cool. Like I think if Cisco was just walking around in his usual clothes and doing that and focusing and stuff, it wouldn't look as cool. I think you need the goggles and the gauntlets just to fit the part a bit more. Question 7, and our second last question comes from IBZ2DIE4. I don't know if you just made that username, so it's annoying for me to read out. But yeah, and he went, when do you think we will see Reverse Flash back on The Flash as a main villain? I don't know, but I do think he'll be in another season as the main villain. As I said, it could be Season 5, because I do think they'll go back to a Speedster villain. But I don't know, it's hard to tell, because he was such a big part in Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. He really was the main villain, even though the main villain was the Legion of Doom. he was the reason that like that season worked so well, the story based around him. So I know what they're going to do. It would be cool to see him back, and I do think we will see him back. It's just hard to determine when they will bring him back, because there could be... I know the Reverse Flash is awesome. I think Matt Letcher does a really good job playing him. I thought Tom Cavanaugh was good, like in the disguise thing in season 1. But you can still have like exhaustion from too much Reverse Flash when there's other characters to do. But if they play it right, they could make Reverse Flash maybe like the last season's villain for the Flash, or maybe like a season 7 when like, you know, that they might try and like wrap things up sort of. It might not be the end of the Flash, but they might wrap up like a certain proper arc and then move on to something else. But that would be a good place to put the Reverse Flash in. But I really wouldn't be able to tell you exactly when I think they're going to bring him back in. But it would be awesome. And question 8, our last question, comes from Ant Lemon, and he goes, what are you looking forward to most in Justice League? Not an easy question, because I'm looking forward to a lot in Justice League. The Flash, I'm very interested to see how Ezra Miller goes. I'm one of the, like, I really think he's going to nail it. I think he's going to be awesome. I don't get into this whole debate with like, oh, Grant Gustin, oh, Ezra Miller. They're two different things. Like, they're playing the Flash in two different mediums. Grant is playing him in a serialized TV show. Ezra's playing him in a cinematic universe. It's completely different. I don't know why people compare them and just try and make one better than the other. They're different. You actually can't compare them. If it was like, it's not like you're comparing Christian Bale and Ben Affleck, because they both played Batman in a cinematic sense. They're playing them in two different mediums. You can't compare them. I hate it when people do it. But overall, I'm just excited to see how they move because this is really going to be the branching point, because it's the first time you're seeing, or the proper time you're first seeing Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman in these movies, even Mira and stuff, and moving into different movies, how they set up the cinematic universe going forward. Is Green Lantern going to appear in the movie? Is Supergirl going to appear in the movie, which has been rumored as well? I'm just very interested to see how it all plays out. I'm just looking forward to the whole movie, not just individual bits, because I think the whole movie is going to be good. Hopefully we see Darkseid, but I don't know, I'm not counting on that. I think they really might focus on Steppenwolf, and if there's anything to do with Darkseid, it might be like a post-credit or mid-credit scene. But yeah, I'm not expecting too much Darkseid, if any at all. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. It'd be awesome if you could leave a like. As I said, let me know any other questions you want answered in these Q&As in the comment section down below, because you guys, you know, asking these questions help make these videos. As I said, look out for the American Horror Story Cult review series, if you want to call that, starting, as I said, not tomorrow when this video goes out, but the next day. So keep your eyes out for that. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.